Roth conversions. Should you do it or not? We hear this topic all of the time. You are probably here wondering the same. Does it make sense for your situation to do a Roth conversion? Well, first things first, what is a Roth conversion? Taking money from pre-tax accounts, that could be an IRA, that could be a 401k, paying the tax on it now, shifting it to a Roth where it is now tax-free growth moving forward, tax-free coming out when you take a distribution. So no limits to how much you can do as a conversion. So we have a great scenario that we're going to walk through here today. Hi guys, welcome out. Whether you've been watching our page for a long time or you are new here, my name is Andrew Taccacelli, Senior Vice President here at W.A. Smith Financial Group. We are a team of fiduciary advisors coming to you to help achieve financial peace of mind, working with individuals and business owners all across the country. Talking Roth conversions here today, a polarizing topic that I can't just blanket answer whether an individual should do a Roth conversion. So we really try to focus on 4 key areas before we even get into the details with an individual on whether a Roth conversion makes sense. First thing being is let's talk about your current financial status. That could be, are you retired or not? I'd have to know that before making a recommendation on whether a Roth conversion makes sense. If you're still working, then you still have probably good wages coming in, which is increasing your amount of taxable income. So we kind of have to understand what phase of life are you in there. You know, what is your Social Security income looking like? What is a pension looking like? Do you have capital gains? Are you a business owner that has different income sources coming in? So these are all things that we have to get out of the way first, is understanding what does your current financial situation look like? What tax bracket are you in right now today? And we then have to start making kind of some future assumptions. So that leads me to kind of topic number 2, which is what I'm going to call assessing suitability on whether this makes sense for you. We want to understand, what are your long-term goals? Let's say you are retired now and you have Social Security, you have a pension maybe coming in. Do you need more? Are you taking distributions from your assets to supplement, to live comfortably at this point? Will you have any major expenses down the road, big needs that may come up that are outside of your one-off living type of expenses at this point? Your health consideration. Do you have longevity in your family? How much time do you potentially have? When it comes to Roth conversion planning, there is a break-even point down the road that you have to, have some time to let that grow tax-free. And if you don't have that time, if there's going to be a need for that money, then Roth conversion may not make a whole lot of sense for you. Is legacy planning or estate planning important to you? Many individuals want to see that their assets are going to their beneficiaries in the most tax advantageous way. Some people don't care at all. Whether you're an individual who wants to bounce the last check and not really care about what your beneficiaries get, or you're the individual who wants to leave a legacy and make sure that that's being left, again, in a tax efficient way, and you'll want to continue to listen here to see if the situation could make sense. Number 3 item that we want to look at is, what are the benefits? What are some potential benefits if we choose to do a Roth conversion in your situation? Well, it's tax diversification. You give yourself some flexibility over your retirement years, whether you take from a pre-tax account, a tax-free account, gives you a little more flexibility on your spending and how you navigate through retirement. Another thing that it does from a benefit standpoint is it reduces your required minimum distribution. So whether you need income or not, the IRS is going to force you to begin taking required minimum distributions. Depending on when you were born, that age is really anywhere from 70 and a half to 75. That you will have to start taking. By doing a Roth conversion, it'll lower the amount that they're calculating that required minimum distribution, meaning lowering your overall distribution. You'll have tax-free withdrawals moving forward. tax-free to your beneficiaries, no tax liability whatsoever. And many, many times, again, I have a great example here to share with you in a few minutes, your overall taxes paid from when you start making those conversions, all the way through your beneficiary's lifetime, generally can be a lot lower than if you don't do the Roth conversion. Now, there's benefits, there's also some drawbacks. So, fourth thing that we want to look at and make sure that everybody understands is what are the implications when it comes to doing a Roth conversion? Well, first one being the big one is you are going to pay more taxes right now, today. That's the whole point of this, is that you're paying taxes right now, today, to help with a future lower tax liability potentially. Many CPAs, kind of take two different stances here. Many CPAs don't want to see you pay any more in taxes in any given year. It's kick the can down the road, we'll pay it later, or let your kids pay it later. Other CPAs, when they focus more on tax planning and forward looking to try to be a little more efficient, will say the opposite. Pay the taxes now while you can control your tax situation, and it'll work out in your favor down the long term. So that's a big one, is you're going to potentially go up into higher brackets, you're going to pay taxes right now. Number two, drawback could be a thing called IRMA, and this is a income-related monthly adjustment that you pay for your Medicare costs. So if you're 63 or older, then you'll want to make sure that you're looking at IRMA as a potential drawback by doing a Roth conversion. If you hit certain income levels, that will increase the amount you pay for Medicare health insurance. Many advisors don't talk to you about that when they're talking about Roth conversion, but it's a big one that you want to focus on. So when we get all of these questions answered when sitting down with someone, and there's plenty more here, but once we have enough information based on your current financial status, kind of what your long-term needs are, what are the potential benefits, what are the drawbacks, now we can jump in and really start modeling out the scenario to see if it makes sense for you. So I'm going to jump to the board now, start sharing some details about the 63-year-old individual with $1.2 million in IRA monies. Does a Roth conversion make sense? All right, so the first thing that we've identified with this individual, taking them through the questioning, is that they need income from their investment. So Social Security and pension are not covering all of their expenses. So what we've identified, first detail, and this is really simple, is we need about $600,000 of that $1.2 million to cover income needs. So those dollars are off the table already, in my opinion, when it comes to Roth conversion planning. These dollars don't have a long enough horizon to do any sort of conversion planning. They're spending these down right now. Meaning, we have a bucket of money that is there for what I call planning. This could be tax planning, this could be healthcare planning, this could be from a legacy standpoint, but we have $600,000 that if I were meeting with this individual right now today, these would be the dollars that we're asking the question of whether a Roth conversion makes sense or not. So in this example, current income with taking the distribution from the IRA is about $75,000 of taxable income. That is their current situation. They are retired, so they have Social Security, pension, and a little bit of IRA distributions, generating $75,000 worth of taxable income. For apples to apples comparison, we put a growth rate of 5.25%. So what I'm going to break down for you is if they do no Roth conversion planning, if they do Roth conversion planning, either way, the $600,000 is growing at 5.25%. So when we look at this, we're after two things when we start modeling out the scenario. One is what are going to be the estimated taxes on the conversion. So if we do a Roth conversion, how long are we going to do it for, and what will those estimated taxes be up front? Number two is if we do no Roth conversion planning, what will the estimated taxes be on required minimum distribution withdrawals. So as I mentioned, whether you need income or not, we still have $600,000 here that the IRS is going to make us take distributions from. Well, what will those taxes look like by taking those distributions? Also, if we do no conversion planning, we leave all of this money to our beneficiaries still tax deferred, meaning nobody's paid the taxes on it. The beneficiaries have a 10-year window to pay all of the tax liability on that. So we're going to kind of estimate out how much will the beneficiaries pay over that 10-year period on these dollars. Now we can, kind of get into decision making. So in this example, what we've identified is based on current income needs of $75,000, we can convert basically $120,000 per year over the next 5 years to get rid of that $600,000. By taking that 120, combining it with what their current taxable income is, they are still staying within the 22% bracket. On the federal level, we're assuming 3% on the state, so 25% total taxes coming out. If we do a Roth conversion over those 5 years, we would have spent $150,000 in tax spread out over those 5 years. That money is now tax-free forever for the rest of this individual's life, also when it passes on to the kids. So no more tax whatsoever. That'll be the total amount paid on that $600,000. If we do not do Roth conversion, and the individual has to just let it grow until age 75, where they have to start taking required minimum distributions. And unfortunately, we're gonna kill off this individual at age 90. Obviously, kind of use your life expectation for this scenario. We're using age 90. They would have spent a little over $203,000 in income taxes from age 75 to age 90 for required minimum distributions. The kids who inherit the money at age 90 when they pass will pay another $180,000 in federal and state income taxes over that 10-year period to get it into a post-tax status, meaning $383,000 going to taxes on a $600,000 starting balance, whereas if we do Roth conversion on that, $150,000. Now, that's not the total answer yet. So now what we want to focus on when we model this out is what does the post-tax dollar amount look like at age 90 when you do the conversion or don't do the conversion? Well, 1.2 million left tax-free to the kids if we do not convert. However, if you do the conversion, remember, we're apples to apples, everything's just growing at 5.25%. We now have 1.8 million left behind tax-free by doing the Roth conversion. Now we get to the decision making. You be the judge here on what would potentially make sense. Every individual's situation is a little different. In this situation, 63-year-old, 1.2 million, we've identified yes. At the end of the day, it's worth paying a little more money up front versus spreading out $383,000 over their lifetime. We want to do a Roth conversion for this individual. The timing of it, when should you execute it? These are all decisions you would work with a financial advisor on or your CPA. One of the things that we do for many individuals is a retirement tune-up financial review where we can walk you through your situation on whether this makes sense. You can access that retirement tune-up financial review by clicking on the link in the description below. And if you like content like this, you want to see more of it, comment below, like, share, subscribe to our page, click on the notifications so you don't miss future content. We will see you next time.